Ahoy there, me hearties. This be Captain Silver Hook, and you're listening to the Two Old Pirates podcast. Set sail for an open sea of stories, tales, and some really crazy stuff. I expect you to like and subscribe, lest you be walking the plank. Ha
We are pleading to the public for any information that would assist us in resolving the death of our son that occurred on Sunday, January 22nd. There are no words that can express our pain.
Hey, welcome to the Two Old Pirates, episode 103. This is kind of a personal episode for me, and just due to my son's relationship with the person that we're discussing today. But let me give you a little bit of background information. It was January 22nd, 2017, here in Corpus Christi. There was an accident on I-37 near Violet Road. People called, police showed up, and they found a car, a 2016 Subaru Crosstrek, upside down. As they got closer, they could clearly see that the driver's side had been peppered with bullets. So it wasn't just an accident, it had been a shooting. The person inside the car was a young man named Andre Fuqua. Andre had graduated from Flower Bluff in 2010. I have an attachment to the story due to the fact that I was teaching at Flower Bluff at the time. Andre was a long distance runner, competed in track and field and also cross country. And he lived to run. He literally lived to run. His entire life was around nature and going out and running on trails and running cross country and running marathons and running on the beach, wherever. Andre also wanted to be a track coach and help special needs students at the school level. So he was probably going to come back to Flower Bluff or another small town nearby and be the track coach or the cross country coach and fulfill his dream of helping others run and also help kids in the classroom. Everything I ever heard about Andre was that he was a great young man. I know that we hear a lot about things like that when it comes to, student athletes or kids in high school, but truly Andre, I believe, had no enemies. I never heard anybody say anything, even people that might be jealous of his amazing abilities at running. He just shined. He had the ability to make people around him feel better about themselves. Some of the reasons why I'm telling you this is straight from my son. My son, my eldest boy, he took summer track at Flower Bluff while he was in junior high, and his mentor was Andre. Andre was there every single day, pushing the kids, getting them to give everything they possibly could. And my older boy just loved him. He looked up to him, and he would come home excited every single day about running. He wanted to run in the local beach to bay marathons on his team, and he wanted to do this and want to do that. And I'm like, son, you like running that much? He's all, Andre makes it fun. Andre makes it interesting. So from that earlier time, I knew that this was a good young man. He was there during the summer when he didn't have to be, and he was helping out kids to have something in their life other than just video games or something, to be healthy. But on that night, somebody took their aggressions or anger out on Andre as he drove along Interstate Highway 37 here in Corpus, coming home from a run that he had about 240 miles away. Andre passed several days after at Spawn Hospital. So before that tragic night, Andre had ran races all over the state. Then he would go out to like Big Bend and just run and look at the beautiful nature that was out there and take thousands of pictures of, at night with the stars and stuff. So this was a kid who had a really good sense of life, and what he enjoyed most is nature, which is free, and running, which is free. So he wasn't about, the fanciest things in life. He was about basic things that could bring joy to you. So on that fateful night, he had gone to run in something called the Horseshoe Trail Run. And after he had got done running that, he was going to head home. Now, if you know anything about heading home from the Houston area and stuff, there's like a straight drive down. On his way back, his route changed. And if you look at the pictures that I'll be showing you about his route, it doesn't make a lot of sense if you're from around here. His route could have taken him straight home, but what he did is he took a route that brought him through small, little itsy-bitsy towns like Bayside, Gregory, Taft, and Odom. Then he got back up on I-37 to make the rest of the way back into town. People were wondering, why would he take this very, very off the beaten path way home? Well, at this time, there's a very, very, very popular game that a lot of people played on their cell phones called Pokemon Go. Well, there's a competing game that was more set towards older people, older teens, young adults, things like that. It was called Ingress. In Ingress, there was certain areas or things that you had to go to. Sometimes it could be a statue, or it could just be a work of art in a local town, or it could be maybe a Dairy Queen or something like that. And what happened was there's two teams. You could join one of the two teams. The first team was called the Enlightened, and the second team was called the Resistance. Now, the reason why I'm bringing all this up to you is because we found out that Andre was in fact playing this game, and was playing the game that evening. So the question is, on his normal route that would bring him all the way back home straight from that trail run, did he start playing that game while he was driving? Because you use your GPS, and it shows you these different things, almost like Pokemon Go, where you'd go to different areas to pick up certain things. And was he wiping those off, as in he went to Bayside and found something and drove through and he collected it? And then, he did the same in Gregory and in Taft and in Odom. Was he collecting things along the way? Now, I've never played the game, but everything was based on GPS. And so your teammates could be trying to get to Odom before you could, and maybe you're trying to get to Gregory. So what happened is, the police have no idea, but they were wondering, it's in their suspicion, could it have been a very competitive game? And Andre got to one of the areas, or somebody on his team got to one of the areas and scooped up one of these things, and it upset somebody from another team who was very, very aggressive in driving or something. And maybe they followed him back onto IH-37, and somewhere near Violet Road, there was the confrontation, and they shot at his car. Remember, it wasn't like a single gunshot. There was multiple gunshots. So that's one theory that the police have dipped their toes in. Now, it's been 7.5 years, and I've not seen this story budge at all. So Andre, as far as we know, ran that race on that weekend, was coming home, and then was fatally shot, and his automobile flipped over on top over by Violet Road in Corpus Christi. So was he followed? Was this an act of aggression because of a video game on your phone? Was it just an random act of violence? I mean, was it just somebody that had a road rage incident? And remember, this is a good person who's probably tired and is just trying to make his way home after this long run over the weekend. He's not going to be out there trying to get shot at. But the thing is, after 7.5 years, there is no evidence. There is nothing that we have that could show who, what, or why. All we know is the when. So for all the young people that attended all his summer track and field and cross-country running workshops, all the kids out at Flower Bluff, anybody who he ever made an impression on, let's find the SOB or SOBs that took this young man. And I mean, he was just starting his life. He had so much going on. It takes one phone call. It takes one person in Corpus Christi to have the freaking guts to say, man, it's been a long time. That kid has been in the ground for over 7 years. And all he did was driving home. He had never hurt a person. In fact, his friends, I read, used to call him Gandhi because he was so nice. He never said anything bad about people. He was just a bundle of joy and life, and that was taken. And we need to know who did it. We need to get that person and get them behind bars, because they've lived far too easily for the last 7.5 years with that in the back of their mind, knowing that they drove past a car on a late night during the winter months in January of 2017 and ended a young man's life. Whether it be over road rage or a frickin' video game on your GPS, nothing equals what they did to this young man. This family has dealt with so much pain over this. Call 1-800-TIPS or call the local police if you know something. Let's get this person behind bars and have them have to start paying for what they did to Andre. Andre made a deep impression on my son and so many other young people that he would have continued for years and years and years once he got into school teaching. And that never had a chance to happen. Let's get the murderer. Peace.